Good morning, year six. I hope you're well and having a good day so far. For today's maths, in addition to the White Rose video, you're going to have the second of these bi weekly videos where we're just going over a skill that we will have looked at in year 4 or 5 previously, and just to kind of rebase ourselves in this skill so that we're able to know that we're comfortable with it going forward. Hi guys. Within our maths then today, we're thinking about comparing volume, and to be successful within that, we need to revisit what volume is. We need to count the number of cubes which are being used for a shape. We need to compare and order those shapes. So here we've got the idea of volume. Volume is the amount of capacity that a shape can hold or can take up. Okay, the amount of space which is consumed by something. The way we tend to measure it is if it's a regular shape, a regular 3D shape, we can multiply the length by the width by the height and therefore get a value. If we don't have a regular shape, as you see with 2 out of these 3, so the yellow and the blue ones are not regular shapes, we can't do a calculation like that. And what we tend to do then is we just count the number of cubes which are being represented by the image or by the actual shape. And we then create a sum which shows us the number of volume which is being taken up. With our yellow one, then we can see that, or with all of these, we can see that each cube has a volume of 1 centimeter cubed. And what we need to do to identify the whole volume is to add those 3 up. Okay, so it's to add the volume, the number of cubes up. So if we look at the yellow one, we count up that it's got 2 and then 2 on the top row, and then across the middle row it's got 8 and then another 8. So it's 2 plus 2 plus 8 plus 8. Okay, so 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 8 is 12, 12 plus 8 is 20. Having a look then at the green one, this one is a regular shape, so we go length, so 5, width 2, height 2. Length 5 times 2 is 10, 2 times 10 is 20. The blue one is an irregular shape, therefore what we do is we count that we've got 3, then 3, then 3, then 1. So 3, 3, 3 is 9, plus a 1 is 10, and we've got a width of 2 of that, so it's 20. So let's look. The greatest volume then is none of them. They're all the same. Okay, they've all got 20. Different representations of shapes with a volume of 20 centimeters cubed. Remembering that 3 above the M for the cubed symbol for a value. 3 shapes here. If we just go back to that idea of the cube symbol being that 3. Remember, we've got 3 measurements. With a regular 3D shape, we'd be multiplying together to get our answer. So that's part of the rationale for length times width times height is where that 3 comes from. And a good way of remembering it. Now, again, we've got 4 shapes here which are made up of 1 centimeter cubed cubes. Okay, so we've got A, B, C, and D. Our blue, our brown, our yellow, and our green. Okay, which volume do you think each shape's got? Okay, just pause the video while you work through that if you want. If I'm looking at doing these, the mistake I might make if I'm not really concentrating as I do it might be when I look at B, I might think actually it's a regular shape. I might think that that's cuboid, so I might miss those 2 gaps within the midst of B. And if I did that, I'd think it was 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 1, so I'd think it was 15. I'd realise my mistake when I look down at the bottom and I see none of the values are 15 centimetres cubed. But now I can spot that it's 15 with 2 holes taken out, and therefore it's 15. Take away one and take away 1, so it's 13. So I've got 13 for that. Going through then, let's see how we did. We've got 8 centimeters cubed for our blue, 7 centimeters cubed for our yellow, which is the interesting one because it's quite wide because of the shape that's been plotted. However, it's not as big a volume as any of the other shapes. Okay. Looking at these 2, which one's got the larger volume? What do we think, the green or the blue? First instinct, the blue one looks bigger, doesn't it? I might be wrong though, so I double check. On the green one, I count 6 on the bottom, 4 on the middle row, and 2 on the top. So 6 add 4 is 10, add the 2 is 12, okay? Looking then at the blue one, do the same, count for each row. So it's 6, it's 4, it's 4. What do we think? Okay, so a sentence could be shape B has got the larger one. Shape A has got a volume of 12 centimeters cubed, whereas shape B has 14. So it's 6 add 4, which is 10, 10 add 4, which is 14 centimeters cubed. Okay, so we can see the difference there. And the sentence there just has that while word within it, or whilst within it, as a comparative conjunction within it. descend in order. Remember, if we're going down the stairs, we descend them. So we need the greatest value, that biggest volume is the first one, and then we proceed on to the smaller volumes of the shapes. So the first step of this is identifying the volume of the different shapes. So let's go through the first one. So that orange letter shape A, so it's 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. That's a square number, isn't it? 4 add 3 add 2. Sorry, a triangular number. 4 add 3 add 2 add 1. Okay. 4 add 3 is 7. Add 2 is 9. Add 1 is 10. Okay. And then we've got B, which is 4 add 1 add 1 add 1 add 1. So 4 add 2 add 2. So 4 add 2 add 2 is 8. 8 add 4 is 12. And keep going through. 6, 6, 3, 4, 4, 6. Okay. And then we see that blue is the greatest, going all the way to the orange, which goes down to 10. Quite similar values, again, these volumes. And it's why we really need to be careful when we're counting that we don't get confused with, for example, the yellow center being missing, or thinking that some of those blue squares, blue cubes might have been there where there's an element of the face of the cube, which is there, but not the whole cube. Okay, now, Harry's done something. He's got 16 centimeters cubed. Okay, and what he can do was, if he had a shape, he can turn the 3D shape so that all you can see is that view. So 2 on top and 3 along the bottom row. Okay. What possible volume could it be? Okay. Possible volume could it be? Now, we can use up to 16 cubes. He doesn't have to use them all, so you don't need to say 16. What possible volume could it have? What do you think? Have a think. What kind of shape could he make? Basically, it could be anything, couldn't it? Okay, it could be anything as long as it's at least 5, because he could just make that little horseshoe shape of 5. Then he could put another horseshoe next to it, so 5 add 5 would make 10. Then a third one, and if we see the one at the bottom, we can see where it's got 1, 2, 3 horseshoes next to each other, and therefore it's got 15 centimeters cubed. And he could then just put an additional cube on the end of the third one to make it into 16 centimeters cubed. Lex has made this shape, 1 centimeters cubed again. Okay, and Daryl makes a shape with a volume of 17 centimeters cubed and another shape with 6 centimeters cubed, and then he combines them. Okay, who's got the shape with the smallest volume? Well, so what's Daryl done? He's got 17 add 6. So 17 add 6 combined makes, well, added together, isn't it? In this instance, it's 2 shapes which are brought together. We've added them together. So 6 add 17 is 23. Let's see what Lexi's got. It's 3 add 6 add 4. 3 add 6 add 4 is 13. Add 3 add 3 is 19. Okay, so I can see that hers is smaller than Daryl's because 19 is smaller than 23 centimeters cubed. Okay, right, guys. Simple, similar to previously. You don't need to print these out. These aren't printable for you today. All you need to do is try and work through these. And I love what you've been doing with yours, Nathan, where you do them in your book. Just have a work through them. So A, B, C, and D. What I do if I were you is identify them in next to the value that you think they are. So if you see that the green one's looking quite small, just double check it is 8 and then write down 8 next to A. Okay, and do the same for B. And then for 5A and 5B, you've got to identify which one's the smallest and then which one's the largest. And with that, you've got to write a sentence. So don't just say A. You've got to write A is smaller than B because, or B is smaller than A, or B has a volume of while A has a volume of Okay. And please, Kyra, don't write Okay. Pause the video while you try and work through those, please. Okay, and keep looking as we go through. Good job. And hopefully now you can see that 8 centimeters cubed, as we say, was the green A, 15 centimeters for yellow B, orange C was 20 centimeters cubed, and D was 12 centimeters cubed. Looking then at the second set, 9 centimeters cubed for that blue A, 13 for orange B, C was 14 centimeters cubed, and yellow was 11 centimeters cubed. Shape B is larger because it's got shape B is smaller, should I say, because it's got a volume of only 8 centimeters cubed, whereas 16 centimeters cubed for shape A. And then shape A is a volume of 15 for 5B and 19 centimeter cubed for shape B. Okay, let's have a look at these couple of statements. Gaziba is making a 20, up to 20, so up to, remember that word, up 20 centimeters cubed. What could a shape be? Have a go at drawing a shape that hers could be. And then think about Neil. Neil makes this shape from 1 centimeter cubed. He makes one shape with a volume of 15 centimeter cubed and another one with a volume of 9 centimeters cubed. And then when he combines them, okay, so Neil's got that shape. So how big's that? And then see if that's bigger than Carl's when he's added his 15 to his 9 centimeters. Let's see. Okay. Pause your video while you work through that, please. Now, Jaziba, lots of different answers you could have. And again, like the horseshoe one earlier, you might have just had the 5 centimeter cubes for Jaziba due to the fact you could have just had that face. But if you then repeated the face, it would be 10, 15, 20. The easiest one probably would be 4 widths of the same shape. Cows is larger, and we can see that because cows is made up of 15 and 9, which is 24, whereas Neil's has got 5 and 5 in the first 2 rows, then 3, then 4. So 5 and 5 is 10, plus 3 plus 4 is 17, plus the other 5 is 22. So Neil's is 22 centimeters cubed, whereas cows is, lovely job, 24 centimeters cubed. This is your sheet today. With it, do have a go at using a bar model. I know you don't like them, guys. I know you think you're way too grown up for them, but when you use them, I think it really enables you to unpick what words, what questions mean. I'd really like you with them to try and use your ruler as well. Akta Farouk, the presentation in your work has been splendid every day, every week. So thank you. Malia, try and keep going with that. Olivia, see if we can find a nice sharp edge item, even if it's a book. You can go along the edge of a book, and then it makes it easier to unpick what you're trying to work out with those. Okay. What I'm also sending, based on what Fatima said, is you like some answer sheets sent through. So the ones that you've done a few days ago, I'll send the answer sheets through from Mr. Day and Mrs. Coulson today, so that you should be getting those for work earlier in this week, and then I'll start sending them through every week or so. So you get a bit of a batch of answers to have a look at. Just check your own work, and then you can say, "Mummy, look at what I've done. I've done this wonderful work. Am I not smart?" And you can impress people around the house. Guys, I look forward to seeing you all again soon on our Zoom. Hope you've done well with your volume work today and have a go at the work on the percentage of amounts as well. Thanks very much, guys. See you soon.